What's up, guys? This is Mr. Eldridge, and in today's video, we're going to look at the second party system, the second version of a political system in the United States, where we do have this two-party system. So, despite the initial popularity of the National Republican Party, support for the party quickly dissolved. Many of its affiliations with members of the 1824 corrupt bargain, an alleged political deal that led to the election of John Quincy Adams as president, permanently damaged the party's reputation. With the Democratic-Republican Party split between national and old Republicans, a new branch began to reassert itself in opposition to its commercialized activity. This new party, the Democratic Party, was led by the hero of New Orleans, Andrew Jackson. Jacksonian Democrats vehemently opposed the banking system, most notably the Second National Bank, which had been rechartered in 1817 for 20 years. Democrats, particularly in the South, rallied around Jackson's tenacity and his opposition to the growing industrial and financial markets of the United States. In 1837, Andrew Jackson is going to veto the rechartering of the Second Bank of the U.S., a decision that contributed to the following economic downturn in the Panic of 1837 and the growing economic crisis that will lead into 1839. A proponent of Jeffersonian agrarianism and democracy, he was also a fierce opponent of anyone he saw as an obstacle and a threat to American expansionism. Jackson was a confrontational and aggressive leader, as seen in the War of 1812 against the British and later American Indians and in Spanish Florida. As such, under his leadership, the United States took a far more aggressive approach to settlement. Settlement is going to lead to new American Indian policy. In the Northwest, the southeastern territories of the United States, Jackson employed the United States Army on several occasions to address American Indian resistance, to remove the Creek and the Cherokee tribes of the Southeast. Jackson and a Democratic Congress passed the Indian Removal Act of 1830. The act removed the previously autonomous Cherokee and Creek from their ancestral lands of the Southeast to Oklahoma in the Midwest, even though Chief Justice John Marshall and the United States Supreme Court will rule and say that the Indian Removal Act was unconstitutional. While many of the tribes went peacefully, some Cherokee resisted. This prompted Jackson to use the U.S. Army to coerce the Cherokee to march on the famed Trail of Tears. You also have the creation of a new political party known as the Whig Party. They are the anti-Jackson party. Many former national Republicans and others formed this party in the early 1830s. Often you hear of the great triumvirate of leaders, that of course being Henry Clay, Daniel Webster, and John C. Calhoun. Many Whigs were proponents of Henry Clay's American system, which advocated tariffs and protections to promote the growth of domestic industry. In theory, the northern textile industry would be interdependently linked to the agricultural South, specifically cotton, and the United States would function as a self-sufficient textile exporting country. For example, cotton would be produced in the South, and then it would be sent north to those textile industries to produce clothing and other goods made out of cotton. Coupled with the growing market revolution, textile mills, factories, canals, and railroads sprang up in northern states at an unprecedented rate from roughly the 1820s until the early 20th century. Finally, you have prominent Whig ideals. So the Whigs detested the Democratic attitude towards foreigners and American Indians. Partially influenced by the Second Great Awakening, many Whigs were concerned with morality and Protestant values. Whigs advocated for such things as Sunday school to provide learning opportunities for working class and agricultural children. They also vehemently opposed alcoholism, particularly its impact on the poor and American Indians, and initiated the temperance movement. These ideals would continue to ferment throughout the 19th century, manifesting later as the ideals and reforms of what will become the progressive movement and the progressive era of American history from 1890 to 1920. The rise of the Whigs to oppose the Democrats ushered in the second party system, an era defined by the tensions and competition between the Democratic Party and the Whig Party from the 1830s to the 1850s until you get to the creation of the Republican Party in period 5. Thank you so much for paying attention to this video. If you have not hit that subscribe button, please go ahead and do so. Thank you so much, and have a great day.